Hi, my name's Simon Camilleri and I'm the creative director and founder of the Backyard Bard. Now this year, St. Stephen's Anglican in North Balwyn and the Backyard Bard have teamed up to present to you the Christmas Storytelling Project. Usually each year the Backyard Bard prepares to present the Christmas story to churches and communities across Victoria. But this year we thought we'd do something different. Now, as the old saying goes, you can give a man a fish and he'll be fed for a day, or you can teach a man how to fish and he'll be fed for the rest of his life. What we'd like to do this year is, instead of giving you a story, we'd like to give you a storyteller. We're asking for churches and communities to provide us with someone from their community to learn the art of biblical storytelling. Over the month of November, we'll be training people in how to present the Christmas story. And then those people can go back and bless their community, not just over the Christmas period, but hopefully into the future. Okay, basically the way it's going to work is that all participants are going to meet with me over the 4 Saturdays in November. So that's the 7th of November, the 14th, the 21st and the 28th. And we're going to meet at St. Stephen's Anglican in North Balwyn. Now on the 7th of November, there's going to be a big group workshop, and that's going to start from 9:30 in the morning and go till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's going to be a great opportunity for me to go through with you the philosophy of biblical storytelling, the process that we go through in terms of preparing a storytelling, and some tips on the presentation as well. And then the middle 2 Saturdays, that's the 14th and the 21st, are going to be an opportunity for you to come in one-on-one with me and work on your story. And that's going to be just a great chance to give you some private coaching and really polish up your stories. And then on the last Saturday in November, the 28th, we're all going to come together again, and you're going to see where the other storytellers are at, and we're going to do a group presentation. And that'll be just a great opportunity to be encouraged by watching other people's stories, and also give you an opportunity to give a little presentation before you may be presenting at your church. The Christmas Storytelling Project is really for anyone. The only criteria is that you're at least 16 years of age, that you're available to come to the workshops, and that you have a passion for sharing God's Word. You don't need any experience in biblical storytelling or performing or acting or presenting. Basically, we'll be starting from scratch. If you have any of those skills, you can definitely bring them to the table, but they aren't a requirement. Now, you may be just someone who's interested in learning how to learn or memorize or commit to memory God's Word. You may be someone who's wanted to do something a bit special for Christmas at your church. You may be someone who has some acting experience and wants to explore some different ways of doing Christian theatre. You may be someone who really wants to prepare something special for a carols event that's coming up. Or you may be an RE teacher that's scratching your head and looking for ideas of how to engage the children that you're teaching. On the other hand, you may be a minister who isn't looking to do the project yourself, be a participant, but you may have someone in mind at your church who you want to encourage to come along and get trained and then be able to present at your church. But basically, I'd encourage everyone to think about it and consider being a part of the Christmas Storytelling Project. To register for the Christmas Storytelling Project, I need you to send me an email by the 5th of November, which is 2 days before the first workshop. My email address is simon@thebackyardbard.com. And if you could put in the subject line, registration in capital letters. In the email, I need you to put your name, your age, your contact details, and any relevant experience that you may have. Also, if you don't have email, you can call me on 0425 851 540. And of course, if you have any questions, you can email me or call me at any time. Now, the cost of registration is $145 per participant, and that needs to be paid in full on the first workshop on the 7th of November. And you can do that by cash or by a cheque made out to the Backyard Bard. But because we're very close, I really encourage you, if you're thinking about it, to register as soon as possible so you don't miss out. If you've registered for the Christmas Storytelling Project, then welcome. The first workshop will be on the 7th of November, starting at 9:30 in the morning and going till 4 p.m. And that will be at St. Stephen's Anglican Church in North Balwyn, on the corner of Ardgour Street and Woodville Street. Now, at that first workshop, you don't need to bring much. Just bring your registration money of $145, paper and pen, some lunch for you to have on the day, and I want you to start thinking about what story you might like to present. Now, if you don't want to present the Christmas story, that's totally up to you. You may have some special event that you're preparing for. But if you are wanting to prepare for a Christmas event, then the two stories that I'd encourage you to think about is the Christmas story from Luke and the Christmas story from Matthew. From Luke, it's chapter 2, verse 1 to 20. And from Matthew, it's chapter 1, verse 18 to 2:23. The Luke one has the shepherds, and the Matthew one has the magi, if you're trying to get your head around what they're all about. But I encourage you to read them both and choose one for yourself. If you want to do something a bit more challenging, a bit larger, the Luke Christmas story is quite bigger. The chapter 2 verses 1 to 20 is only a small part of it, but you could include the visitation to Mary, the story of Mary visiting Elizabeth, the birth of John the Baptist. There's some great stories that are included in the Luke version, which can flesh out the story if you want something a bit more challenging. With the Matthew one, if you want to do something additional with that, one thing I've done in the past is learn Isaiah chapter 9 verses 1 to 7, and that can go before the storytelling of Matthew. Isaiah chapter 9 verses 1 to 7 is the "For unto us a child is born" speech, which works really well in preparing people to hear the Christmas story from Matthew.
For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace.
But I'll leave it up to you, and if you haven't decided, you can still decide on the day, but it gives you something to think about. Thank you so much for your involvement and for being a part of the storytelling. I'm looking forward to meeting you, and I'm looking forward to sharing these great stories together. So God bless, and I look forward to seeing you in November.